New era for development banks. What a positive note to start this conference with. So thank you very much, Joseph Stiglitz. Now I would like to give the floor to Mrs. Jiajun Xu, who is joining us live from Beijing, and Régis Marodon, who is here with us today and have just joined us here on the set. Hello, Régis.
Hello, Asha.
Jiajun, hello. Can you hear us?
Hello.
It's great to have you here.
Hello.
So let me just properly introduce you guys. So Jiajun Xu is the Executive Deputy Dean of the Institute of New Structural Economics at Peking University, and Régis Marodon is a Senior Advisor on Sustainable Finance at the AFD. So it's great to have both of you here with us. So even if you are virtually with us, Jiajun, we're happy to have you here. Both of you will guide us through the research that you have conducted together to build a global database of 450 public development banks. So probably just a first question that I will ask straight away to you, Jiajun. What is the purpose of such a database?
Well, thank you very much, Asha. I'm very delighted to have this opportunity to introduce you the first comprehensive database on public development banks and development finance institutions worldwide. I will answer your question about the motivations behind building this database. So in the wake of the recent global financial crisis, and especially the outbreak of COVID-19, the role of public banks has gaining a more and more importance. Public banks, they are potential policy instrument for promoting equitable and sustainable structural transformation, combating climate change, and play a counter-cyclical role in times of crisis. But so far, very little academic research has been done to systematically examine their role, effectiveness, and development impact. And a major reason behind this positive research is lack of data. And to fill this gap, the Institute of New Structural Economics at Peking University and the French Development Agency are joining hands to build an open source database in order to encourage more and more researchers to undertake very rigorous academic research to unleash the potential of public banks. As Professor Stiglitz just mentioned, we have a new waves of public banks. We want they can lead the accumulation of market to help us to achieve the green structural transformation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jiajun. So 450 public development banks, this is a great, exciting work, Régis.
Yes, indeed. I mean, it was quite some work, and we are very happy to have developed this partnership with Beijing University and with INSE. Hello, Jiajun. I mean, very happy to see you online today. And definitely, I mean, not only we have collected the data with the whole team, but we are also putting them online for the first time today for the research community to benefit from it.
So it's a huge step forward.
Yes, indeed it is.
So probably, Régis, you want to go through a little bit the work that you've carried out together with Jiajun?
Okay, so I'm very happy to take you into a journey through the first ever comprehensive database on public development banks. Mm-hmm. I will cut it PDBs to make it a bit shorter.
Make it short,
yeah,
of course.
Exactly. So let's start with the homepage that we have here and the global features. The map shows a synthesis of the information available in the base. Each circle gives the size of the indicator that you can choose in the menu below the map. The selection on screen, for instance, is the number of banks in each country. On the upper side of the map, you can select the banks according to the origin of capitals per continent. And on the menu, just on the right, you may select different kind of options: mandate, association or group of banks, or level of income. Let's take, for example, the G20 members. You may see that the map is changing accordingly, and that each circle now gives a summary of the information for this particular group. So let's move now back on the top menu. We have three possible entries to select the information. We can choose as you can see, financial vision, SDG vision, SDG being Sustainable Development Goals, or particular bank vision. Financial vision permits an overview of the aggregated financial figure when a particular criteria is selected. You may note that in each page you can play with the various criteria and make your own selection. Take, for instance, continent as an entry point and Europe. You can see that assets, equities, number of banks are changing. You can make your own selection crossing mandates, level of incomes with any other criteria. Let's now move to the SDG vision. Our great team, and really I want to quote in particular Weber, Xinjun in China, Adeline, Bruce, and Barbara here in Paris, have collected, yes, more than 2,000 activity reports, 2,000, with an historical perspective. And this has allowed us to develop a SDG prospecta on 174 banks. The purpose is to assess the alignment of PDB's strategy with the SDGs as they appear in the annual report. So how do we do that? We have developed a machine learning system based on the one created by the SDG Financing Lab of the OECD. We have taught the program to understand the SDG vocabulary. I'm not talking just about words here, but the semantic universe related to each SDG. So the machine reads the report extensively, probably as we would do it, even better.
Better, obviously.
And we get a probability. If you prefer, we get the level of certitude that the annual report mentions a specific SDG. A precise description of the methodology is available online on the website. So shall we see how it looks like?
Absolutely.
Take the International Development Finance Club, for instance. The colored bars, you see, are changing, and they show the result of that particular group according to the 17 SDG, each of them with one color, with the black bar giving the average of all other banks. IDFC, in our example, is clearly above them all. I suppose we can congratulate the club members, no? But what about the individual data for each bank? So for that, let's move to the Bank Vision tab back on top. Here, we can select a particular institution in the database. As an example, let's take the Trade and Development Bank, TDB, an East African multilateral bank. It is now possible, just a second, the screen will refresh, it is now possible to see the main figures of this particular bank. It will be coming, such as, you know, its date of creation here, or the main financial information just below. Then below, histograms are comparing this particular bank with all other banks performing the same mandate or the one belonging to the same continent. Down below are the SDG histograms based on the same principles as explained before. They permit to see the level of certitude that TDB has incorporated each SDG in the narrative of its annual report. We've pushed further the SDG analysis by drawing for each bank its SDG star that you see now on screen. The principle is quite simple. The graph shows only the SDGs where the score for a selected bank is higher than average. So below average, no ray.
Okay.
The size of the rays shows how far the bank is ahead of average on its way to 100%. So here, quite impressive results on the screen already from this bank. So now the database is online. You're welcome to connect and play with it. You will see there is much more available. We have also historical data for the banks. We have also international ratings. And please also refer to the paper that we have published with the University of Beijing, with INSE, called Identifying and Classifying Public Development Bank. It is available on the INSE, on AFD, and on the conference platform, naturally.
So Régis, this is a brilliant tool. And how much work you've put in? How long have you been doing this?
Well, I mean, for instance, on the SDG prospecta, to collect all the information and teach the machine to learn the report, it takes 3 years about
Wow.
that. I mean, the machine has read thousands of reports
Before getting there.
before getting there and before being capable of getting all the semantic of the reports. And now to collect the report and put the database that you have in front of you, it's about a year that we've been working on that, based again on the tremendous work done by the Institute of Structural Economics for the past years too.
So it's, let me just probably seize the opportunity, Régis, just to remind our audience here today that, you know, you can send us your questions, you know, via the platform. So we'll be very happy to take a few and share with us. So we haven't received any questions yet, but we are really looking forward to receive some more questions during the show. And hopefully, Régis, I was looking at all the details on the platform, which is, it's amazing to have all those information together. The objective behind is really to create some kind of collaborative platform where they can, it's also a benchmark where they can see where they stand and where the areas they should be improving.
Well, exactly. Well, if I may, I would suggest probably 3 proposals. If you are a researcher, I mean, the base is yours. It's a unique opportunity for you to dig in it and really try to see what are the correlations between data, and even more, what are, you know, the potential knowledge that you can bring, additional knowledge to our community of development bank. I mean, the data is open source. It can be, any figures can be downloaded from the menu. So I think for the researchers communities, I'm really calling on more researchers to pay attention to us. Now, I would say if you are a development bank, check your data. We've made some errors, obviously.
Probably,
I mean,
just
so
make
many
sure
data.
everything is correct.
So we're really relying on you, you know, to visit the base and send, please, your comments, etc. Also, put your 2019 reports online or send them to us directly. There is also a link in the About tab on the top. We will be delighted to collect them, and we have started already to collect them online, and we will update the base with this data. And finally, if you are, and probably more important, if you are a development bank and you are not in the base, well, we miss you. I mean, really, please notify your existence, provide us with the data,
yes.
and do not hesitate, you know, to liaise with them, and we will be very happy to add your data, add your name, and put you into our building community.
Right, so Régis, just stay with me. I would like just to probably thank Jiajun, who has been live from Beijing. Thank you, Jiajun. Thank you very much, and hopefully we catch up in the very near future. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
So, Régis, again, so this is a fantastic tool, and now the way forward is really to go and connect with all the different banks, as you just already mentioned. Just a short note to conclude this database session.
Yes, well, we have already 16 research papers online. Each of them is benefiting also from a short video. Every researcher has made the effort of providing a takeaway, you know,
Wow.
for decision makers. We have a video, and we have a one-page also policy recommendations. I think all these researchers, one way or another, are also contributing through their work to provide us information, help us to know more about this community which is in the process of being built. There is a purpose. Really, the purpose is we think that they can change the rules of the game. They can enter into the financial world by putting more emphasis on SDGs, by being capable also of teaming up with private sector. I mean, there is a lot of banks in the system that also want to participate in this endeavor. So I hope that our modest database will be a contribution to better knowledge and at the end of the day, better impact. Yeah.
First step, I would say a great step forward
Precisely, yes. Yeah.
Well, Régis, thank you very much. And again, Jiajun, thank you for this comprehensive presentation of this unique database. So you've heard Régis. Feel free to connect and feel free to share your insight, your data. And if you're not there, I think Régis mentioned it, they would be very happy to take all the input and work with you.